What's up everybody, it's Andrew V here. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a performance coach, mindset coach. I'm writing a book about the psychology of losing weight and that life and any goal that you want to achieve is all about mindset, belief, and habits. Now I'm currently on a mission to get shredded. So at the moment I'm eating very little calories, training a lot. So for me to show up every day is a feat in itself. But for you, it's important to be able to have the space for you as well to show up for the places that are important to you. So everyone's up to stuff, and if you're watching this, you could be into fitness, you could be into, health, business, passions, performing, music, singing, what have you. But really, mindset and habits applies to all of this. Now, today I want to talk about a specific tool, a tool that I actually knew existed, but I forgot until recently. So I'll tell you a story. Have you ever experienced the place where you kind of you've got all this stuff going on, but it just seems like you get stuck and you can't get a clear vision or a clear idea of what the next step is? Or you're doing a lot, but it all seems just clouded and you're not sure if it really fits into the overall scheme, and sometimes you even feel like you're wasting your time, or you feel like you're just trying to click over and get on top of it, just click over and get on top of it, but you're kind of always behind. Do you want to know the access to be able to clear all that up and have clear direction, clear vision, clear steps so you feel confident, powerful every time you take a step? Well, that's what today's video is about. It's about cleaning up your surroundings. What do I mean by that? Well, I'll tell you. A couple of years back, I used to be relatively messy, okay? Now, not super messy, but I just had a lot of stuff everywhere. Everyone had its place, I had a speaker there, a book there, a diary there, a plate there, a glass there. I knew where everything was. It was my house. I was pretty well aware of where everything went and everything had its place, and it felt kind of homey, it kind of felt like mine. Instead of just having an empty place, there was a lot of stuff everywhere and it was all mine, right? Then I moved in with a housemate. Now this housemate was the opposite end. Now, God bless her soul, she's absolutely beautiful, but she was really clean, like OCD clean. Now, I don't believe in OCD, but she would clean everything. In fact, when you had a dinner, after the dinner, before sitting down on the couch and relaxing, you had to wash your plate or it went in the dishwasher. The bench was clean, everything was clean. Almost every time you walked into the place, it felt like no one even lived there. It was that meticulous. Now, at first I resisted. Why do you keep so clean? Why do you keep so clean? You shouldn't be so clean. It's not homey. And then I fell in line and started cleaning. Now, what I found for myself in that moment is when I had a clean space, suddenly I had clearer thoughts, clearer visions, clearer dreams, clearer ambitions. Now, at the time, I didn't make the link. But now, having studied psychology and how the brain actually works, there's actually scientific evidence behind this. So here's how it goes. Pretty simple. Your brain can only take in so many bits of pieces of information. Right? So as we're walking down the street, you're in a room, wherever, your brain goes through thousands of functions and it perceives everything in front of you, right? At the moment, you're probably perceiving your phone, your computer, but there are things that you're not aware to. What your brain does is it takes all the pieces of information that are coming in and it separates them into which pieces of information are going to be useful for me and that I need to pay attention to, and which pieces of information are not useful and I don't need to pay attention to. For example, have you ever walked on the street and as you're walking, suddenly you trip, and when you trip, it's like your whole world kind of collapses before you kind of get your balance, and it's this big thing? Well, your brain doesn't focus on walking. It just considers the ground as the ground and walking is walking, so it doesn't even pay attention to it. So when a trip does happen, that split second is your brain actually catching up, switching gears and saying, you need to focus on this, you're about to fall. Why does that all matter? It matters because if you have a space with a lot of stuff, your brain is using up calories, is using up brain thought to quickly decipher what's important, what's not important, what's important, what's not important, what's not important, what's important, what's important, and it's doing that all the time. And here you are in your brain trying to get a clear vision, a clear dream, a clear goal, or a clear next step, and you're wondering why it's so difficult. Clean up your life. Clean it up. Get rid of it. Get rid of it, clean it up, move it. Here's the thing. I play a game with myself, right? So I take and see how many minimal stuff can I have in the actual room, in the actual house. You know, there's a reason you get an awesome feeling when you walk into like a nice clean bathroom or a clean kitchen where everything is meticulous. It's got this nice feeling about it. That feeling is because your brain isn't actually needing to work that hard to process what information to keep and what information to not keep, because there's minimal pieces of information. So look, here's a tool. Wherever you are, at whatever place you're in the messy journey, clean it up. Tonight, tomorrow, the next day. See if you can play a game of cleaning up your space. And then observe the direct impact that has on your motivation, on the clear direction, the clear image, and just the clear space of being able to operate as you do. Right? I recently did a massive cleanup of my desk. I had a diary for one thing, I had a to-do task list for another thing, I had another piece of paper that did this, I had a sticky note here, a sticky note there, and all these little bits and pieces. Now, every piece I could explain to you how important it was, but I knew that it was too much. It was too much. So I had to minimize it. We went down from 4 notebooks down to 2. We went down from notepads to sticky notes to all these notes down to one sheet of paper. Suddenly my productivity soared. My mind was clearer because there was less stuff to focus on. You know, the message today is really simple. There is a direct psychological impact of the amount of physical items and stuff you have in your space and how hard your brain has to work to compute your entire space. So if you're trying to do something, achieve something, have goals, ambitions, etc., clean up the stuff that it needs to focus on, minimize those things, and the thing that you're really focused on will have more power, more intention, more freedom to it. Clean up the stuff, get more power in what you're going for. Try it for yourself, put it in the comments. Subscribe to these videos. I hope you got value out of today's video. I'm doing these videos every day with tips, tricks. Some of them will be about diets. Some of them will be about motivation. Some of them will be about time management. And look, reality is I run 5 e-commerce businesses. I'm writing a book. I'm vlogging. I have 3 social media accounts. I'm working on a lot of stuff at the moment. So I'm dealing with my own failures, with my own motivation every single day. So my job is to show up every day, take the takeouts that I've had from the last day, the last 2 days, the last 3 days. I then go out and actually research more on them to hopefully give it in a succinct, matter-of-fact way of how I processed it in my brain, and hopefully you get some value out of it. You know, live your life to the fullest. We're all going to the grave. How do you want to live your life? Live it. I'm Andrew V. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. That way you'll see my videos first. There's a link to my Instagram page, to my Facebook page in the comments. Subscribe to those as well. You'll get to see me go on my ups and downs every day as well. Much love. Over and out.